Because the death was like it's like if you bring a piece of evidence to the judge and you're trying to get it you want it to be admissible, and he's ruling on whether it's admissible or not. Death is inadmissible now.
What a great way to look at it.
He ruled against it.
Yeah,
You see this guy here, clothed in glory and immortality? What's your other? Oh, you don't have any other accusations. I see.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
Right? It's like I'm no longer confused about the wiles of the serpent. I know how he tries to beguile me. I know how he tries to speak to me. I know the moments when he is. I know what he uses to try to speak to me. Right?
Mm.
And you can see it real easy. What begins to happen is you know the voice of the stranger and the voice of the Father.
Right.
You begin to know. Listen, it never feels nice when you encounter calamity. Right? But you don't want to have your thoughts now shaped by the evil one while you're experiencing calamity. And there's a lot of pictures of Job. I think the third week I'm going to explain Job as a picture of mankind. We believed lies about ourselves and God. Absolutely. Based on the sin and death that was in our bodies and in the earth.
Sure.
Right.
We concluded things about God, just like Job did. What did Job say? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But Jesus come and said, how can I be the guy who gives the demon and the guy who heals the demon?
Right.
How can I give and take away? Right?
Yeah.
And so Job come to conclusions through the carnal mind. Part of it's a picture of that. Mankind did that with God. And so God comes out of the whirlwind and questions Job's hand. Who is it that darkens my counsel? Who is it that's come and painted a picture of me as if I'm the giver and the taker away? Were you there when I created everything? Right? And so there's a picture of that too. But one of the most powerful things is God proving mankind. It's like with Goliath. When you look at the picture of David and Goliath, and I preached a message I don't think too long ago about that. You can listen to it. It's called God with Us. And it's beautiful. But if you look at Goliath, what was Goliath doing? He was standing opposed to Israel.
Accusing, yeah.
It says he was defying Israel. You go look that word up. It means to defame, to strip, to uncover someone's nakedness. And then it says the Israelites were filled with fear and shame. What was Adam filled with?
Fear and shame.
His nakedness was uncovered, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And when his nakedness was uncovered, that was defaming him. It was slandering his name in his heart. I'm not God's son. He's not my father. So Goliath stood opposed to the Israelites as the people of God. He came accusing them. He uncovered their nakedness. He pointed at their inability in their flesh to overcome him. And then he used that as the evidence to say, you're not God's people. If you are God's people, send out your champion. Send out your champion and let us do battle. And we'll see. You see him tempting?
Yeah.
You see what he's doing there? He comes and uncovers their nakedness. Look, the weakness. The weakness of what? Their flesh. Well, what was our weakness? We were dying. Satan stood opposed to us because we were dying. And he come and uncovered our nakedness, our death. He pointed at it. And then he told us that meant we weren't the children of God and that God had forsaken us.
Right.
Now that filled us with fear and shame. And now we started trying to do something. Right?
Yeah.
Well, God come to deal with that. Right? To where we don't feel fear and shame anymore. And that's what Paul talked about. God who predestined that we could stand before him holy and blameless in love. Blameless. What? Blameless. Interesting how that word's tacked on in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that we could stand before him and feel no blame.
Right.
Now, who would be bringing the blame?
See.
Who's the accuser?
Yeah.
Who was bringing the blame in the book of Job?
Yeah.
Right? So God, what did Revelation say? And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. And who'd they overcome?
The
Accuser,
accuser.
evil one,
We overcome the accuser. Now we stand face to face with God with a heart that isn't filled with condemnation. We're blameless before the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're experiencing his love.
Right.
Right? That's what God was after. One of the things he has to do there is he has to justify our hearts from the accusation. The way he justifies our hearts from the accusation is he comes and justifies man from the accusation. He did that in Jesus. He came and proved what he said about man was true through the person of Jesus. Jesus came and stood in the face of the accusation and said, let us determine the matter. Because the lamb would be offered on the Day of Atonement.
Right.
So when was Jesus offered?
Day of Atonement.
Okay. So what did Jesus say in the Day of Atonement? When he stood in the face of the accusation. He called God Father.
I don't think
Wow.